We have found a little problem here in the garden and we'd like to show it to you. We've had a very cold winter and this is as a result of this.
This looks like it's as a result of this. This is a Pittosporum and they are, I suppose, semi-tender. I mean, you've got huge specimens growing and they're probably fine. This is relatively recently planted. And I just noticed here the main sort of stems here on it seem to have been killed off by the winter. Because what I've done is I've actually nicked the bark with my thumbnail and there's no sign of green, fresh growth underneath that
is that like dead bark?
That's sort of a dead piece there. So really the answer with this is, you know, we've waited long enough now to see, it's long enough now to see whether it was going to come back to itself again. But you really have to take this out.
Right,
Down
okay.
to sort of take the
dead now there you go, Susan, there's...
Yeah, you see that's completely...
It's dead.
Okay. Dead, yeah.
So what does he do with this then?
Well really, he's got to cut these pieces out.
And let the other area develop, is it?
And let the rest of this develop and hope it comes up into a bush. I mean, Pittosporum, you can use it for hedging, so it will take hard pruning.
Right.
So the hope is that then you can train this into a sort of nice shape of bush here.
So how do you get more sort of the leafy area at the back of this?
Well, this
around
is going
this
to,
area
you're going to
now.
have to hope that these pieces that are still alive are going to regenerate sufficiently. Well, you might find yourself cutting the whole thing, the whole plant right back.
To try and get...
to try and get it back and get it into some sort of
And
shape.
can I ask you something else? By cutting out the dead wood here, are you giving more light into the area to develop?
You're getting, certainly in the back here, you're getting more light into the back. But
so it's a
once it's dead,
thing.
it's not going to have any leaves on it, so it's not going to be hugely, you know, restricting of light.
Right, okay. Do you want me to prune
You
that
prune
there?
out
Just
some more dead pieces there, yeah.
While you're just chatting there. Tell us about the Pittosporum. I mean,
Pittosporum, I think we did something on a well-developed one earlier on. This looks like Pittosporum tenuifolium garnettii, which is the grey and cream, sort of greeny grey and cream variegation with splashes of red on it. Now it's a very small leaf, whether that's because it's young or whether it's a newer variety and isn't actually garnettii, I'm not sure, but it's certainly taking a battering from the snow.
and is it a delicate sort of bush where it might have a problem trying to manage in the cold weather?
They haven't up till recently. Now we have had 2 very cold winters, but and this is the first time I've noticed any damage. Generally you might get just sort of browning of some of the leaves and the tips and things.
Yeah.
But that's really taken a beating, this one.
Yeah, and well of course you see...
But you can see, even now that you've taken the dead pieces
you
out
can actually,
and
it
the
looks
piece,
completely different.
it begins to look better.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And we'll probably advise them to give it a fairly good sort of trim back to get it back maybe into a sort of even almost a ball shape, and then let something come up again from the middle.
Okay, and should he do that at this time of the year?
You can do that
should
at this
bring
time of
this
the year,
all the way down.
Yeah, I think I'd probably advise him now that he brings all this down so as we get a tidy
full
plant getting up again.
Okay, great.